Hello, we are Seismic Cinema. So put your feet up. Almost messed it up, Paul. Grab the popcorn and get ready to escape reality with us for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Hopefully, no longer than that. I'm Colin, our book, and I'm joined here as always by Paul, the moustache today.
Hello
So,
there,
hello there, indeed. Copyright. That's copyright, Paul. I need
buddy.
I need to scrap it now. So this review podcast, we're going to look at a film that I've been wanting to watch for quite a while now, which was, let's hope I get the name right this time, Death on the Nile.
Yeah, that was it. Murder on the Nile. Yeah, I call it
Uh,
a smash together of both the titles from the other film.
yeah, I combined two films. It's actually quite lucky. Next to the StreamYard tab on my computer, I had the Wikipedia article for the movie open, so I had a nice visual reminder to get the titles correct.
Hmm. So yeah, it's I was waiting for it for ages to come on Disney Plus. So I'm glad it finally got on. Got managed to get a good review on it.
Was it something you were anticipating?
Oh, I quite liked the Murder on the Orient Express. So I was quite interested to see this one because I haven't seen the original. I'd seen the original Murder on the Orient Express, but I hadn't seen the original of this. So I was quite looking forward to it because in Murder on the Orient Express, I kind of knew what was going to happen.
Mhm.
So I didn't really have an idea about this one.
So, did you watch Murder in the Orient Express recently, or did you watch it ages ago?
I watched it in cinema when it first came out.
Yeah, okay. Well, for context, I did second time I've done this recently, but I did a bit of a poll. I watched Death on the Nile and really enjoyed it. So watched Murder in the Orient Express the following night. So yeah, I was gonna go. I always check out what's on at the cinema each week, and I was going to go see it when it came out, but unfortunately, Mr. COVID caught up with me, and I wasn't allowed to leave the house that weekend, so I didn't get to go see it. So, like yourself, I was looking forward to it coming out, and it came out really quickly. I feel like, do you not feel like movies are coming out really quickly on streaming services nowadays?
Yeah, it's kind of good some ways and kind of bad others because like you don't really want to go to cinema because you know it's going to be coming out pretty soon. Like The Kingsman when it came out, what in Boxing Day in the cinemas, and then it was on Disney Plus by late January, mid February was it?
Yeah, there are some films, particularly like the big films that I still like seeing in the cinema for the experience.
Yeah, definitely. Some you just can't like you don't get the same effect on the small screen.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine watching the Batman on the small screen
Mm.
there after watching it on the cinema.
Yeah, maybe on a repeat. But anyway, we'll get into the review. So, as you said, Death in the Nile did have a predecessor years ago, and this and Murder in the Orient Express are adaptations of the books by Agatha Christie. Did I get that right?
Could be. I don't read books.
I hope I did. So, yeah, I don't know if I would read the books now that I kind of know what happens, but it would be quite interesting to see how it compares. So we haven't actually discussed this at all. I've posted a few things on social media, both personally and on the Seismic Cinema accounts. But I'm interested to hear your overall view on what you thought of the film. Just maybe an overall.
Okay. So overall, I was excited to see it, but in the end, I found it a kind of middle of the road film. I wasn't too impressed by it. There wasn't many things that were like groundbreaking or anything. I thought the characters were very kind of cliche in a way. Uh, so like I did like it, but I wasn't too over enamored with it in general. How about you?
You disappointed me here. I actually really enjoyed it. I think maybe because I hadn't seen the Murder on the Orient Express, it was quite new to me. The kind of the overall structure and the way the film was done.
Yeah, like it was it was okay. It was okay for me. Some of the characters were just a bit like over the top, and yeah, it was just a bit. It was quite funny.
Was that not the point?
Yeah, but I don't know. When I was watching it, I just wasn't getting that feeling of like, oh, what's happening next kind of thing. There was just a lot of times when there wasn't a lot happening. But that's just me. Like, you know me, I'm all about movies about running and gunning and explosions everywhere. So when it comes to a slow burn kind of mystery, it's a bit can jar me a wee bit.
Yeah. So you mentioned the characters and said they're a bit over the top. Was there any particular characters that stood out to you, ones that you did enjoy?
Uh, I quite like Book, your character Book.
Yeah. So did I.
Um, yeah, but like even that, when you first meet him, what's he doing? He's flying a kite off the pyramid.
Yeah.
Weird things like that. Um,
'Cause he's in Murder on the Orient Express as well.
yeah, I actually forgot about that when I seen this. Um, I
I
think
knew I recognised the actor straight away, and I eventually realised what he was from. It was a show called Behind Her Eyes on Netflix,
I never watched that.
which is quite good. So I recognised him straight away, but it took me a while before I clocked who it was.
Yeah, I think he was. I think so. Is he meant to be French in this?
I think so,
But
yeah.
he's English, isn't he? He's English.
I've
So
never,
me
I've
and
never been very good by accents.
me and Scarlett were going through like everyone in this movie, and I don't think anyone speaks their own language or their own accent kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like you've got Kenneth Branagh, he's playing Poirot as Belgian. You've
Hmm.
got I can't remember her name, Egret from Game of Thrones. Uh, she's French. You've got Wonder Woman, who's uh, what is her accent to be? She just sounds like Wonder Woman.
I
Gal
didn't even
Gadot.
realise. I saw Wonder Woman once, but it was part of a school trip, and I didn't even realise that's who that was.
Yeah, yeah. So this is her. Russell Brand, he was English, so he was one.
Hmm.
Um, Book's mother, I think she's American, playing an English person. They've got French and Saunders. French is English, so there's two people playing the right accent, and one of them played an American when she's actually British.
Yeah.
Uh, who else was there? The last out of Black Panther, she, I think she's actually, I can't remember. She's either American or I think she's British. She was born in Britain, I think she was, but she's playing the American. The American singer, she's actually British. So it's all very confused. But sorry, that was a bit of
Let,
a sideshow of all the different accents.
let's not turn this into a movie bashing. Something I'd like to highlight that I really liked was I liked the
I
cast.
wasn't bashing it. I wasn't bashing it. I was just pointing out. It's just quite funny how nobody was playing
Uh,
their own accent.
yeah. Maybe for the benefit of the audience, so people didn't have to, like, if people don't enjoy like subtitle movies.
No, I just thought it was a funny funny kind of caveat to it.
Yeah, I didn't really notice that. You've got a keen eye for these kind of things. So I really enjoyed the. I thought the cast was really good. There's a lot of big names there. So obviously Kenneth Branagh, who I was first introduced to as the his portrayal of Gilderoy Lockhart in Chamber of Secrets, my favorite Harry Potter movie. For those that have seen the previous rankings, he's also obviously famous for directing like the Thor movies, and he's the director and obviously the star of these films as well. Other big names, you mentioned Ygritte from Game of Thrones. There was Russell Brand. I thought it was really interesting seeing Russell Brand is not the kind of the way he normally is. If you've seen like things like Get Him to the Greek and Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and he's usually like just really obnoxious and out there, but it was quite interesting seeing him play a more kind of reserved character.
I thought it was more interesting seeing him with short hair.
Did you not see when I saw see when you saw he was in the film? Did you not think he was just going to be like what he normally is like in a film?
Uh, to be honest, when I seen him and I seen that he had a complete kind of makeover from what he's usually like, I did kind of think he was going to be a different character, which I'm kind of glad they did in it. To be honest, he actually played it really well. I wasn't expecting it.
I quite like Russell Brand actually. Now that I'm mentioning it,
Yeah, I don't find it wrong with him. I actually quite like some of his YouTube videos and that as well.
Yeah, I'm just actually going to bring up the cast list because I'd rather not just guess the names. So that's how professional we are here. So who else? Gal Gadot is the one you were talking about, who plays Lynette. She's Wonder Woman, I assume.
Yep.
Tom Bateman was Book. That's the guy from that show that I was talking about. Another one who I recognise, who you probably wouldn't have, is Emma Mackey. She plays the scorned ex of the married couple.
Oh yes, Jackie.
Yeah, she is the lead actress in Sex Education on Netflix.
Yeah, I've not seen that.
Yeah, I've watched all the seasons of that, and it's a really good show. And I was actually quite. It was really cool seeing her in like a big Hollywood movie. I think she gave a good performance as well.
Yeah, is she not meant to be quite similar to Margot Robbie, like in looks wise kind of thing?
Yeah, a wee bit. But she is really good in that show, and as I said, it was cool seeing her kind of hit the big time. Another one I clocked right away was not clocked right away, but realised later on, it was Dawn French.
The Vicar of Dibley.
I know I keep going on about Harry Potter in this podcast, but she played the original Fat Lady. No, not the original Fat Lady. The second Fat Lady in Prisoner of Azkaban onwards, like the portrait.
Oh God, I've not seen. I cannot
You know
remember.
how like
I've no like.
you know how the Gryffindors enter and there's like a portrait they give the password to.
Oh right, okay, yeah,
He's
yeah.
the one that sings all the time and like breaks glasses and things like that.
Okay, right.
So yeah,
I see it.
I went on a segue as well, but yeah, I thought I really liked the fact this and Murder on the Orient Express. I think that's just a feature of these kind of films. They have a really good cast list.
Yeah, it was really great to see everyone like that on film. It must be some feat to get them all the one kind of place. Well, it's quite weird seeing Wonder Woman next to Dawn and French, like big Marvel Wonder Woman, not Marvel, DC Wonder Woman, and then it's like the Vicar of Dibley.
Yeah. So other things, what you obviously said overall you weren't that keen on the film, but was there any particular aspects you did enjoy?
Uh, I did I quite liked the quirkiness of Poirot. He can be a bit narcissistic at times, but I did like his just like as he kind of quips at people and somebody would ask him something and they just have a wee sharp remark. I did like his character.
Yeah.
Um, I liked the beginning as well, the start with the battle. That was more that had me intrigued at the start.
I was thinking that when I watched it, and I wasn't quite sure how that was going to tie into the greater narrative, but obviously it was just showing his origin story.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, you see his face and it's all like blown up. Not a chance. A mustache would cover all that up.
Yeah, that bit was a bit cheesy.
Yeah, like you see the scars across there, but when you see him in the hospital bed, like that whole half of his face is like blown off. It's like and then later on you see the scars. He's got like a wee scars across here, and that bit's fine, which is a bit weird. And me and I think there's a few of us debating it actually. It's like me and Scarlett were talking about it, and Daniel, who usually joins us, him and his Mrs. Jennifer were debating it as well. Like, how could he grow a mustache over scars?
Yeah.
But they were talking about he had like maybe two mustaches and managed to get it covered up. But anyway, another segue.
Obviously, just they were trying to tie different aspects together, weren't they, in terms of the origins of the mustache?
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I liked the performances of most of the cast as well. Like, I can't really say there was anyone that was like out of place.
Mm.
That I would think, oh, they shouldn't really be in this movie, kind of thing.
Yeah.
How about you? What was the kind of thing you really like? Kind of.
You know me, I'm just a sucker for a murder mystery in general, so I just love the kind of whole who done it vibe, and I think there was enough red herrings and kind of it was quite hard. I know you said you found Murder in the Orient Express, you kind of knew what was happening. I'm obviously not as intelligent as you, so it kept
Hey,
me.
I
It
wasn't
kept
I wasn't in, I wasn't intelligent. I'd just seen the older movie and I knew the
all right.
plot.
Okay. So yeah, it kept me guessing right to the end, and I think that was its intention.
Yeah,
I like the setting. It was really cool seeing like the pyramids and like the Nile in the movie. It was a really kind of vibrant and bright movie.
yeah. Do you think the CGI was a bit?
I was going to
I thought
mention
the
that
CGI
there's a
was.
bit. See when Book's on top of the pyramid flying the kite. I turned to Alien and just went, "Yeah, that's CGI. He's not
Like,
there." Like I think we've watched enough Star Wars prequel movies to know when somebody's not in an actual location.
yeah, that was a big old green screen.
Yeah. So yeah, the CGI wasn't great, but I did enjoy like the color of the film, and I liked like the kind of party atmosphere. Like they went on the boat and like they had all the champagne, and obviously you knew something bad was going to happen, but at that point it just seemed like it'd be quite a fun weekend to have. It
Yeah,
would have been quite a nice
but
place to be.
it'd have been a fun weekend if the boat wasn't filled with every single person that hated Gal Gadot's character.
Well, that was obviously the point. Something I really liked was I liked like the opening scenes when the Jackie is with what's the guy called?
Doyle,
Yeah,
Doyle.
what's his first name? Simon.
Um,
Yeah, Jackie's with Simon, and they're like really in love. They've just talked about being engaged, and then Wonder Woman shows up and basically seems to steal her away, and then they fast forward and they were married. I like the way they set up the the relationships and the issues between the characters. I quite liked that they took quite a bit of time setting up all the different storylines, because if they just went right into the boat and you didn't know any of the characters, I don't think that would have worked as well than if you already had
yeah,
that story.
I felt the way they explained everyone's relationships though was a bit forced. Like when Poirot first comes into I can't remember what it was. I think it's the wedding reception, and Book puts his arm around him and they're like, "Oh, well, this is so and so. He hates her because of this. This is so and so, and they hate her because blah 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 blah." I felt like Book was just going through everybody, telling them
Mm,
like basically what their possible motives could be in the future.
mm,
Like it's like, oh, this is Russell Brand's character. He's the ex blah 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 kind of thing, and I felt that bit could have been done slightly better. It just felt as if it was really pushed.
I think they need an element of that though. They want like I'm notoriously bad at not following films. I didn't struggle to follow this film actually, but I think it's maybe good to have that kind of exposition there for maybe to keep other people engaged.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt some way they could have done it better. I just felt like it was all too. Heck, it was like basically everyone's backstory in this one scene.
Mm,
So
yeah.
that's just me. That's just me.
So, something I didn't like, and I understand why they do it. You've got like the first reveal, and then you've got, oh, but so and so was also involved, or this also happened. And I feel like that happened maybe a few, or maybe one or two times too many. So, like, you had like all these different resolutions.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. See the actual. I know what you mean. Like, so they're talking about like your character, what his motivations were, because he stole the jewels and stuff
Mm.
like that. Um, but what did you think of like the actual um big conspiracy of Jackie and Simon?
So it's funny. See, when you think back to like the opening scene in the nightclub where Jackie's dancing with Simon, and then Wonder Woman swoops in. The first time you watch it, it's like, oh, this couple, they're probably going to have an affair, and she's going to run away with Simon. But when you know what happens, she didn't look that sad. So it was kind of foreshadowed that she'd kind of set this up to set up
Yeah,
all.
so was that the plan all along from that moment in the club that they were going to do
Yeah,
this? Do you think?
she wanted Simon to get with her, so like essentially they could take her out.
Get the estate.
So I actually quite liked that because when I thought back to that earlier scene, the way it was played made it seem like she wasn't devastated, like she was kind of happy with it and expecting it. Because see if like someone came in and
Yeah, because she was the one that actually pushed him to dance with her, wasn't it?
yeah, because like we're both in relationships. You're not going to be happy if like a handsome guy walks in and starts standing. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to stand there like looking quite pleased about it. You're going to like
Yeah,
be jealous.
lifting her up, and
Yeah, like you wouldn't stand for that. Like you'd be over there like saying, "No, that's not happening." So like,
yeah, get the glove out.
I quite liked it.
Get the duel.
I didn't expect it, but when I thought back on the film as a whole, it was kind of set up from early on.
Yeah, now I think about it, yeah, I didn't really pick up on that until you were talking about it there, because I was thinking like when I was first watching, I was like, no way, she's letting her man dance with Gal Gadot like that. You'd be right over there just stabbing her with your stiletto in the eye.
And it also explains why she was on the boat at all. Because
Yeah,
see if she was really just an ex out for revenge, you would just wouldn't let the boat leave with her on it. Do you know what I mean? You would phone the police, you would do something. So the fact that she was on it and had a gun and was threatening people and shot someone in the leg, or apparently shot someone in the leg, yeah, I think it makes more sense that that was planned for it.
yeah. I just felt like even the overall plan, it seemed a bit convoluted. Like when, so like they made a big show of the gun, so that you know the gun's going to be in later on. Yeah, I feel like they pushed Jackie's character, like they pushed her obsession with him, like to the point where it was like obvious that maybe there was something still going on between them, kind of thing. Like, I know they had a couple of points where like he was kind of like, "Oh no, you're crazy," like, "Go away," but I felt they pushed it really hard, so like you kind of had it in your mind that there was still something going on there. But like the whole murder plot, like your Army Hammer's character is banking on uh, running away, shooting Gal Gadot, coming back before the doctor even gets there. So you know what I mean. So what if all that
Yeah.
when he pretends to get shot in the leg? What if the doctor is in the next room
Yeah,
and he comes? You know what I mean?
it does leave a lot to chance. Yeah. Obviously, I watched this almost a week ago now, so some of the smaller details have escaped me a wee bit. But yeah, I did feel like I think it's just a feature because I think Murder on the Orient Express was a bit like that as well in terms of it's quite a complicated conclusion. But I think if there was just one conclusion, like it was so and so, like in Cluedo, it was the moustache man with a picture of his dog in the living room. If there was just like one solution, it might be a bit boring.
Imagine murdering somebody with a picture of a dog.
Yeah. So just before we wrap up, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. So I've talked about the cast. I like the setting. There was quite a few shock moments, I would say. See when Not so much. I kind of thought the Egret's character would end up dying, but when Book got took out, that was quite a shock, considering he's a recurring character.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna make it through at the end, or at least redeem himself for stealing the jewels.
Yeah, a wee detail I liked actually. I can't remember the whole bit, but I'll try and do it. Remember when Book's mum was painting him the pyramid,
Yeah,
and he was wearing, I don't know, was it red, but she painted him green because the red color, red paint had been used as a replacement for something else.
yeah.
What was it a replacement for again? Can you remember?
Uh, what was it? He replaced what? Sorry.
Like she couldn't use the red paint because she'd taken it out. She'd used it for another purpose. I just can't remember what the purpose was.
Oh, I can't remember. I thought the guy just stole it so he could pretend he got shot in the leg.
That was it. Yeah, she couldn't use it because someone had already stolen it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I
See, the
like
thing.
that. You know me. I like foreshadowing, as we've discussed, one of my favorite things. And when you can look back on the movie and see those wee details like the paint and things like that, those are bits I enjoy.
Well, I think I got a bit done by the Mandela effect because when she was talking about it, I was thinking he was wearing a green jacket when he was on the pyramids, but he must have been wearing red. I think his kite was green, wasn't it?
Yeah, don't know.
Because I was thinking there's nothing wrong with that painting.
I didn't pay much attention to it at the time, but obviously it made you think of it later on when they revealed that it had been stolen.
Yeah. It just seems like it. So they're planning on like stealing this red paint and stuff like that. You think? I don't know. It just seemed a bit OTT, but
Overall, I still did really enjoy the film. You made some good points, which have made me consider a few things. And I think you mentioned a few things I've mentioned and pointed out some stuff to you as well. So I think that's where we get the value in doing these discussions of the movies.
yep, my ranking has gone from a 1 to a 2.
So it's not right. Oh, it's a rating.
Rating, sorry, rating.
Right. So I think that's a good time to do our ratings of the movie. I am going to give. Do you have your number to give me some thinking time? Okay. What was your score out of 5 then? Is it 10? What do we normally do? 10. Is it 10 or 5?
10.
10. Right.
We've never done 5.
I don't know. I say that every time. I don't mean
it. So I'm going to go for a 6.5.
Okay. And what's your reasoning behind that? Or I know some of your reasons, but
yeah, like it's a so-so film for me. It's perfectly entertaining to watch. There's good characters. There's a good cast. Like you're saying, the setting's really nice. The boat's really gorgeous. The surroundings are really nice. It was just the kind of overall plot seemed a bit over elaborate, and like you're saying, like leaving it to chance. A lot of the things, some of the characters as well seemed a bit tropey, but like I definitely recommend it to watch. Like it's a perfectly good film. If you've got a couple hours to spare, stick it on and have a go at it. What? Nothing horrendously wrong with it. Technically, it's a pretty good film. It's just the plot points have kind of hung me up on it.
Well, it'd be boring if we always had the same view. So I'm actually going to give this an 8.
It's your opinion, man. Even if it's wrong, it's your opinion.
I just had a really good time watching it. And as I said, I enjoy a murder mystery. I like the setting, the characters, the cast. Where it lost some points for me was, it's like a minor thing, but that CGI at the pyramid really rankled me a bit.
Yeah. Even some of the, like when it's doing the kind of like flyover scenes, like, and you could see up the river and stuff, I felt that looked a bit, but you could tell it was fake.
The main thing for me, and I didn't actually mention this during the main review, but it's lucky I remembered it now. For a movie called Death on the Nile, I feel like the death took ages to come through. And although I was enjoying the film, I kept thinking, like, is it going to happen now? And there was that scene where the lawyer guy drops the boulder on them. I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be it, and then it wasn't it, and I just felt I still enjoying it, but I lost a wee bit of interest because the death on the Nile took so long to come about, and I felt like they drew that out a wee bit too long.
Yeah, it was like them trying to solve the murder. Like the whole like up to that point, it was like Poirot trying to solve the murder before it's even happened, and like everyone was a sketchy character. Everyone had that motive to kill her. And it's like, what are you doing on a boat with these people?
Because I really liked the introduction. It was that bit when they went for that break and they went into what was it? It was just like a cave or something.
Yeah, yeah. It was, I can't remember if it was like a tomb or something. Yeah,
It was that bit for me. The film slowed a wee bit, and when the death actually happened, it picked up, and I was hooked for the rest of it. So it was that kind of middle bit that kind of brought it down a wee bit for me. And the only other thing that stopped it being a 10 was that whole multiple, like the convoluted summing up of the murder and how they can
yeah,
overcomplicate it a wee bit.
yeah. To be fair, Scarlett guessed maybe about 5-10 minutes before the reel. She's like, "Oh, it was Jackie and Doyle. They're in it together, kind of thing." And I bet it was because of this. And I was like, "All right." And I didn't quite believe it, but she got it. But yeah, it was quite a over elaborate murder. But if it was an easy murder, then it wouldn't be a film.
It's a bit boring, Paul, and that's a wrap.
Yes.
Right, so just to sum up then, so you gave it a 6.5, I gave it an 8. And in terms of where you'll be able to find this podcast, obviously you're already listening to it somewhere, but it's on YouTube. This bit makes me tired, so I better take a deep breath. Good Pods, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Audible, and Anchor, and Spotify. I think I got them all there. Yes, we're pointing. Maybe one day we'll work out how to add the icons to the screen. That was Paul pointing. That was Paul pointing for anyone listening to this via audio. In terms of social media, we are on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under the name Seismic Cinema, and we are, as things stand, one follower off 400 on Twitter. So if you're not following us on Twitter, then make sure you do that. Also, YouTube Studio keeps telling me that 70% of our viewers and listeners don't subscribe to our channel. So if you could please subscribe on Facebook and follow us on the different platforms like Spotify, etc. as well. Paul, are you wanting to do the honours in terms of what's coming up next on the channel?
Oh God, no. So after this comes out, we are on Monday. We will have the top 10, our personal favourite top 10 TV shows, and we'll be joined by Daniel, hopefully. And that'll be coming out Monday.
I think we said we're not going to go any further than that. We're still working out some scheduling questions.
Oh, well, that was easy then. Monday, top 10 TV shows.
Yep, and in the future, obviously we've had Neil Boyle in recently. We're hoping to review his movie 1815. We're also going to look at our top 10 movie directors, and we're hoping if Paul can get it over the line to review The Secrets of Dumbledore, the third Fantastic Beasts movie. We just don't know what days we're doing them yet. We're just so Neil, if you're listening, make sure we can sort out a date for that.
Yeah. And get us as extras in the next movie.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, we're looking forward to seeing 1815 on Saturday. That'll be a Seismic Cinema day out.
Yeah. First one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so thank you for listening to the podcast. We hope you enjoyed Death on the Nile. Please let us know what your rating was, what you liked and disliked about the film, and feel free to recommend any other rankings or reviews that we can do in the future.
And do you want to say the slogan or shall I?
I think you should give it a go.
Okay, we have been Seismic Cinema, and this is The Power of Murder on Boats.
But also we believe in the power of escapism.
That also.
And goodbye.
And goodbye.